Hey, yeah, let's cover lesson 18, unit conversion, American system. So in this lesson, we're going to begin to explore techniques used for converting units just in the American system. It's also called the standard system. So units of length, if you think of length it's as though you're measuring something, the distance across. So units of length would be foot, inches, and mile and yards. Those are some of the American units for length. And what you need to know is we have conversion to where 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. And the FT is the abbreviation for foot, IN is the abbreviation for inches. For miles, the abbreviation is MI, and there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. So you can say 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, or 5,280 feet is equal to 1 mile. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So those are the conversions that we're using for now. In this method of converting units, we will use a fraction called a conversion factor. A conversion factor. To determine what a conversion factor looks like, we're going to start with one of the units from above. So 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. All right. So I can say that, well, if I divided both sides by 3 feet, that would mean that this is equal to 1, because it would reduce, is equal to 1 yard divided by 3 feet. That means is 1 yard divided by 3 feet is equal to 1. They mean the same exact thing. And that's called a conversion factor. Hold on, before I do that, I also want to show you that you could also have 3 feet to 1 yard. That too is equal to 1. Okay, so those are called conversion factors. If something is equal to something else, you can put either one of them in the numerator and the other one in the denominator, the top or the bottom of the fraction, conversion factors. All right. So the general idea is that we end up with a fraction that is equal to 1. What happens when we multiply something by 1? Nothing. It stays the same. It stays the same. Anything divided by itself is 1. So A times 1 is A. All right. So by multiplying a measurement by a conversion factor, we're not changing the value of the measurement. We are instead changing it to a different but equivalent measurement. We're just multiplying it by 1 every single time. Okay. So we're going to change 36 feet to yards. Now, before I do that, I need to see what's my conversion feet to yards. Well, I already know it's 3 feet is 1 yard. So I'm going to use my conversion factor. What I do here is I start with what they give me. They're giving me 36 feet. Okay. That is a whole number. So therefore it is over 1. Here's something I'm going to tell you about this. When we are doing these, do not do them without putting the units. You will struggle so much harder with this. If you'll please just follow this method, it works every stinking time. And it's the easiest way to do it. Always start with what they give you. They're giving us 36 feet and they're wanting us to switch it from feet to yards. So from feet to yards. Here's the little trick for that. What we're going to do is we're going to multiply by a conversion factor. And we know that there is that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So I could put 1 yard over 3 feet, or I could put 3 feet over 1 yard. Let me show you something cool. When you multiply straight across, you're multiplying 36 times something and then 1 times something. All right. The thing is, we want the feet to go away and we want it to change to yards. In order to do that, we need to have something like 3 over 3, which is 1. So is feet over feet. That too is 1. It reduces. Okay. So if feet's in the numerator, I need feet in my denominator. So when I multiply, they reduce each other. And I'm going to want to have yards instead in my numerator for my answer. Once I put my units in there, then I plug my numbers in. I do not put my numbers in until I already have my units set up in this. 3 feet is 1 yard. Multiplying straight across, you will never cross multiply in this class. Okay, always multiplying straight across. 36 times 1 is 36. The feet are reduced. Feet over feet is gone. And then 1 times 3 is 3. And the answer is in yards. 36 divided by 3 is 12. You have to divide 36 divided by 3, and that is 12. The answer is in yards, which is what we wanted. Perfect. Okay. I would like for you to pause the video and attempt to do this next one on your own, and then come back and see how I do it. All right. So again, feet to yards. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll start with what they're giving you, 81 feet. And we're going to multiply it. Remember, it's over 1. Feet's in the numerator, so I need feet in my denominator, so they'll cross out. If you have feet in the denominator, you're going to have yards in the numerator. After I get my units in there, then I plug in my numbers. Multiply straight across. 81 times 1 is 81. Feet are gone. And 1 times 3 is 3. The answer's in yards now. 81 divided by 3 is 27. And the answer is yards. Okay. Hopefully you got through that well. If not, let's talk and see if I can help you. We can use a similar conversion factor to change from yards to feet, of course, which is the one I just showed you up there. So we're going to start with the same equivalent. We already know that 1 yard is 3 feet. And this is what they're telling us to do now is 3 feet is the same thing as 1 yard. So up to now, we've only used 1 yard over 3 feet. Okay, that's all we've used at this point. But that's equal to 1. And I just showed you a while ago that 3 feet divided by 1 yard is equal to 1. Because they are equal, you can use them interchangeably in that manner. Okay, so let's change 18 yards to feet. And we're going to use the conversion factors, one of these. They're showing you that you could use either one. I need to put a yard up here. Either one. My thought is I want you to make sure that when you do this, you start with what they're giving you, 18 yards. If it does not have a denominator, put it over 1. And you're going to multiply it by, well, yards are in the numerator. So therefore, you've got to have yards in the denominator so that they reduce. And we're heading to feet. So we want feet in the numerator. Now we're going to plug in our conversions. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Multiply straight across. 18 times 3 is 54. 1 times 1 is 1. And this is now feet. So our final answer, 54 divided by 1 is 54. And then don't forget your units. Okay. I want you to pause the video and do this yourself now. And then come back after you're done to check to see if you got it the same thing I did. Change 15 yards to feet. Again, we're going to start with what they're giving us, 15 yards. People never know where to start sometimes. Also put it over 1. Yards is in the numerator, so we need yards in the denominator. And we're heading to feet, so we need that in the numerator. Plug in my numbers, 3 and 1. Multiply straight across. 15 times 3 is 45. My yards are gone. Oh, I didn't mark up my yards over here. Sorry, y'all. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And it's in feet now. 45 divided by 1 is 45. And feet. All right. Let me know what questions you have up to this point. All right. We're going to use a similar procedure to find conversion factors for changing inches to feet and vice versa. So we know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So we can use 12 inches divided by 1 foot, or we can use 1 foot divided by 12 inches. All right. They're both equal to 1. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to change 24 inches to feet. So I'm going to start with what they're giving me, 24 inches over 1, since it's a whole number. We're going to multiply it. Inches are currently in my numerator in the top. To get rid of it, we need inches in the denominator. And we're heading to feet, so we're putting feet in the numerator. Once I get my units in, I'm just plugging in the numbers. 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. All right, multiplying straight across, my inches are gone. I have 24 times 1 is 24, and that's a foot. Divided by 1 times 12 is 12. We're now just going to divide 24 divided by 12. Please feel free to use your calculators. And that is 2 feet. All right. So 24 inches became 2 feet. I want you to pause the video and do this one next one yourself. Change 48 feet to inches. We're going to start with what they are giving you. And our conversion, this is over 1. Feet's in the numerator, so we need feet in the denominator. We're heading to inches, so that has to go in the numerator. Now I plug in my numbers. 12 inches is 1 foot. Multiplying straight across, my feet are now gone. 48 times 12. That's going to be big. 576. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And this is inches. So dividing that, it's 576 inches. All right. We can also use conversion factors to perform conversions that require more than one conversion factor. The key here is to keep track of what the desired unit of measurement is and what units of measurement need to cancel. So we're going to change 4 yards to inches. Okay, so up to this point, we've only looked at feet to inches. We haven't even talked about miles yet. So feet to inches and yards to feet. So I'm going to use both of these conversions here in order to solve this problem. And I'll show you how. We have a way to get from yards to feet. And then we have a way to get from feet to inches. So this is not just going to be a 1 conversion. This is going to be 2. And I do not separate them. I just line them up because then I make fewer mistakes. And I find that students who do this make fewer mistakes as well. Please take my advice. So I'm going to start with what they're giving me, which is 4 yards. Okay, it's over 1 because it's a whole number. And I've already told you we're going to do 2 conversions. We have to, because we're in yards, we need to go to feet, and then we need to go to inches. So just to give you what we have here, 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. Oh, actually, inches. And 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. We're going to use both of those conversions. Okay, I have yards currently in my numerator, and I need yards to go away. The only conversions I have with yards in it is this one here. So I'm going to go from yards to feet. Yards is in my numerator, so I need yards in my denominator, and I'm going to have feet in my numerator. Once I get that in there, I can plug in my numbers, 3 and 1. All right, when I multiply across now, my yards are going to go away, but that leaves me with feet, and they want us to be in inches. So to get from feet to inches, I'm going to use this conversion. The feet to inches, feet's in the numerator, so feet have to be in the denominator to go away, and it's moving up to inches. Then I plug in my numbers, 12 and 1. When we multiply straight across, our yards divided by yards is gone, our feet divided by feet are gone, and we're left with inches, which is what we want, okay? 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. All right, and this is inches. Divided by 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And once you divide that, it's 144 inches. All right, pause the video and attempt this next one yourself using both of these conversions. Okay, we're going to start with what they're giving us, 8 yards. And we're heading, oh, sorry, it's being multiplication. And we're heading to inches. So we're going to have to go yards to feet to inches. All right, so I'm going to need two conversions here. I didn't give myself much space. Try this again, y'all. Sorry about that. So I've got yards currently in my numerator. I need to get rid of it, so it has to go down in my denominator so it will reduce. And I'm going to head to feet next. All right. Then I have to get rid of my feet. So from the numerator, I have to put one in the denominator and head to my final destination, which is inches. And a lot of times I just do this. I put in my units first, all the way across to make sure I'm lined up, and because otherwise there's just too much activity happening. Okay. So my next thing is look, okay, feet and yards, there's 3 foot, 1 yard. Inches and feet, there's 12 inches and 1 foot. I do not expect you to have those memorized. I will provide them to you on the exams, or unless you use, I'll provide them to you on the exams. Okay, let's keep going. 8 times, yards are gone, feet are gone. We're left with inches. Cool. 8 times 3 is 24. And then 24 times 12 is 288. And the inches divided by 1. 1 times 1 times 1. Finally, it's 288 inches. Okay. Change 2 miles to yards. All right, now we're bringing in the miles. Okay, so let's see what the miles were. We've got 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. All right, and we know that there's also, we're heading to what, yards? Well, feet is not yards, so I need to use my 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. I'm going to use both of these conversions to get me where I need to go. I'm starting with what they're giving me, which is 2 miles, and that is over 1. Miles is in my numerator, so I need miles in my denominator. Okay, now I need to see where I'm heading next. This is the only one that has miles in it. I can get from miles to feet. All right, but I don't want to be in feet. I want to be in yards. So I need to get rid of my feet. And over here, I can get to yards. All right. So miles would be gone, feet would be gone, yards would be my answer. Cool, that's where I want to be. Now I'm going to plug in my numbers. 5,280 for feet to 1 mile and 3 feet to 1 yard. All right, let's multiply. Miles are gone, feet are gone, we're left with yards, which is what we want. 2 times 5,280 times 1 is 10,560. And then 1 times 1 times 3 is 3. And this is in yards. Last piece to this is just to divide 10,560 divided by 3. Plug that into your calculator. You're going to get 3,520 yards. Okay. All right, that was all length for the American system. Now we're going to start talking about weight. And some of the weight that you're going to hear about is pounds and ounces and tons. Okay, so 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces, and 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. What are the conversion factors that we will use? Well, if 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces, again, I always look at it as just this. I literally just see them like that. But if you need to see them as the other factors, LB is pounds. 1 pound is 16 ounces, which is equal to 16 ounces over 1 pound. And those are all equal to 1. 1 ton, so it's capital T, is equal to 2,000 pounds. We can write 1 ton divided by 2,000 pounds, or 2,000 pounds divided by 1 ton, and those are both equal to 1. All right, see where we're heading next. We're going to go do some converting of weight. All right, pardon me. Change 14 pounds to ounces. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write the conversions up here of what we need. There are 16 ounces in 1 pound, and there is 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. All right, just so that we have them instead of having to flip the papers back over. All right, I'm going to start with what they're giving me, 14 pounds. And it's over 1 since it's a whole number. and I'm going from pounds to ounces. And do I have a way to get there? Yes, I do. I have it from pounds to ounces. Pounds is in my numerator, so I need pounds to go away, so it must go in the denominator, and I'm heading to ounces. And once I get these set up, now I can just plug in my 16 and 1. Multiplying straight across, 14 times 16. Should I even do this? Oh, there it is. It's 224. 224. My pounds are gone, and I'm left with ounces over 1, which is 224 ounces. All right, pause the video and do this next one yourself, and then come back to it. Change 3 tons to ounces. Ooh, so we're starting with 3 tons, and we're wanting to get rid of the tons, so it can go down here. But who are we going to next? Well, the only way to get to anywhere is to go from tons to pounds. So we have to do that. But we don't want our answer to be in pounds. We want ounces. So we're going to have to come over here and use this other conversion and get rid of my pounds and head to ounces. Finally, I'm going to plug in my numbers. There's 2,000 pounds and 1 ton. And this is for 1. And there are 16 ounces and 1 pound. Multiplying straight across. My tons are gone. My pounds are gone. I'm left with the ounces. Cool. 3 times 2,000 is 6,000. 6,000 times 16 is 96,000. 0, 0, 0. And this is ounces divided by 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Dividing that is 96,000 ounces. Cool beans. Next victim. Units of volume. Okay, so I don't have anything I can show you. Volume would be a cup. You know, it's something you could fill up. A cup, a quart, a gallon, a pint, tablespoons, anything like that is measuring volume. Okay, think of it as what you would pour liquid from or into. So 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. These are not the same thing as the ounces we used before. This is fluid ounces, and it's measured differently. So 1 cup is, notice C is for cup, FLOZ is for fluid ounces. Quart would be QT. 1 quart's equal to 2 pints. Pints is PT. 1 pint is equal to 2 cups, and 1 gallon is equal to 4. I think it's 4 quarts. Yeah, 4 quarts. All right. What are some conversion factors that we will use? Well, I'm going to do just this. 1 cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. So I could have 1 cup divided by 8 FLOZ, or 8 FLOZ, fluid ounces, divided by 1 cup. Could you put quarts? 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So I could have 1 quart divided by 2 pint is equal to 2 pint over 1 quart. Pints and cups, 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So I could have 1 pint over 2 cups, or 2 cups over 1 pint. And then the last one is 1 gallon. And this top row is completely what I use the entire time. 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, but you do need to understand that these are equivalent. They're the exact same thing because it's the equal sign. The 1 gallon is 4 quarts, which is equal to 4 quarts over 1 gallon. All right, let's play. Change 5 gallons to pints. All right, well, we're going to start with what they're giving us, 5 gallons. And do we have a way to get from gallons to pints? I need to find, there's a pint, so that goes to quarts. This is a gallon I see, so I'm going to circle all of these just so that I can see them individually. A little bit easier, and there's not so much stuff. There we go, that's nice. So I can get from gallons to quarts. Well, I need to get rid of the gallons. So it has to go to the denominator because it's currently in the numerator. This is over 1. But the only thing I have that I can get anywhere with is to go from gallons to quarts. But I don't want to go to quarts, I want to go to pints. How can I get it from, oh, here's quarts to pints. So gallons would be gone, quart needs to go to the denominator, so it goes away, and it's heading to pint. Plugging in my numbers. 4 quarts is 1 gallon, and 2 pints is 1 quart. Multiplying straight across, 5 times 4, well, gallons are gone, quarts are gone, left pints, golden. 5 times 4 is 20, 20 times 2 is 40, divided by 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, and this is pints. Finally, 40 divided by 1 is 40, and pints is what we wanted. Make sure of that. All right, your turn. Pause the video and attempt this next one. All right, we're going to get from pints to fluid ounces. So I'm going to start with 8 pints. I need to go from pints to what? I'm trying to get to fluid ounces. Here's fluid ounces. Fluid ounces gets me cup. These two have pints. This goes to, oh, this one goes to cup. So these both have cups in them. So there's my end. That's my middleman. All right. So we're going to start off with pints. Then we're going to go to cup. Then we're going to go to fluid ounces. All right. So pint to cup. And then cups in the numerator. So this is number 1. Cups to fluid ounces. All right. Plug in my numbers. Pint to cup. Right here. 1 pint is 2 cups. And then cups to fluid ounces, 8 fluid ounces in a cup. It's an 8. Multiplying straight across, 8 times 2 is 16 times 2. Well, I think it's 64 times 2 is 124. Pints are gone, cups are gone. If you have the same ones up in the same place, that's not a good thing. Make sure that they are one's up, then one's down, and one's up and one's down when you're marking these out. And your final answer is fluid ounces, but it's over 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So we just need to divide that. It's 124 fluid ounces. There we go. Oh, 8. 128 fluid ounces. 4 times 8, yes. 128. Sorry about that, y'all. There we go. All right, units of time. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. 1 day is equal to 24 hours. And 1 year is equal to 365 days. Well, those are the ones we're going to use. If you want to go ahead and flip them, that's great. I'm not going to create as much mess. I'm just going to go 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. 1 day is equal to 24 hours. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And 1 year is equal to 365 days. All right. It's just nicer to see it this way than with, to me, it just seems cleaner. How many seconds in a year? So how many seconds are in a year? So they want our answer to be in seconds. And we're going to start off with there's 1 year. So this is over 1. And we're going to, well, we can't get straight from years to seconds. So we're going to have to do some finagling here. We'll start with years. We can get from years to days. We're heading to seconds. We can get from days to hours. And then hours to minutes. Ooh, this is a fun one. And then finally to seconds. I'm going to do the whole thing. Cool. All right, starting off with 1 year. We're going to go from years to days. Year needs to go down here, days up top. And then it's nice to actually set it up this way because then we don't have to stop and pause and think back. We can just knock them out. Year, days, days to hours, hours to minutes, and then minutes to seconds. All right. Now we need there's 365 days in 1 year there. Hours and days, there's 24 hours in 1 day. Minutes and hours, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. And then last, there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Multiplying straight across. Years are gone, days are gone, hours are gone, minutes are gone. We're left with seconds. We're good. Okay. 1 times 365 times 24 times 60 times 60 is a lot. 31,536,000 seconds. Okay. If you did not get that, then you did not line them up the same. Pause the video and try this next one. How many seconds are in a day? They want our final answer to be in seconds. So we need to start with 1 day. I need to give myself some space here. 1 day, over 1. Day to hour, I'm heading to seconds. So day to hour, and then I'm going to seconds, hours to minutes, and then I can go to seconds. All right, day to hour to minute, and then minute to second. Notice day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. Make sure that they're lined up that way, because the day starts off in the numerator. We need 1 down in the denominator so that we'll cross each other out. All right, now I can plug in the numbers. There are 24 hours for the day here. Minutes and hours, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, and then 60 seconds in 1 minute. Make sure when you multiply across, day divided by day is gone, hour divided by hour is gone, minutes are gone, and you're left with seconds. 1 times 24 times 60 times 60 is 86,400 seconds. Got a little bit crazy there. All right. Left. Oh, that's it. That is it for lesson 18. I will get back to y'all with lesson 19. Have a good one. Let me know what questions you have.